Hello, Namaste, Sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. Today, once again, we have gathered here with very beautiful guests from the different parts of the country to discuss on a very special topic, maths, a fun or a phobia. We had been seeing during our time till now that till grade 5, the children, they enjoy mathematics. But when it comes to the middle school and when the chapters increase or whatever the course increase, the pressure from the society, maybe from the parents, from the teachers, or from the other people, it becomes a pressure to the students that maths is going to be a very big thing for them. What are the causes of these type of things which makes the mathematics, which is very beautiful subject, it becomes a phobia? And how can we remove these misunderstanding that maths is a phobia? So without taking much time, I'll introduce you to the very first eminent guest present over here. We have Nali Dagli ma'am. She is the principal of a very prestigious chain of institutions, Caralox Public School, Ahmedabad. Welcome, ma'am. Nali ma'am, thank you so much for coming. And it's pleasure you have come up to the show. Ma'am, please let us know about yourself. Did you came into this profession by chance or by choice? And how did you rose from a teacher to a principal of such a prestigious institution in Ahmedabad?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I started, yes, as a teacher, and I did not come in accidentally but I because I'm a microbiologist actually, and I was into quality assurance, and my company's MD asked me to teach one of his friends' son biology. And that is how I got into teaching, and I started liking it. Maybe I had not explored that side earlier. So, and then I studied more. I did my B.Ed, M.Ed, and during the teaching, then I got into educational initiatives after I was a teacher. So there I worked as a project head with one school improvement program. I've also worked with Aga Khan Education Services India, and then again with the same institution, Calvex, where I was a teacher once. I joined as a principal, and I'm actually loving this profession, so I am here. And I keep upgrading myself for being able to survive in this profession with the best way. So that's my background. And yes, I guess coming in this background, it's literally my passion. And being a biology person, you have been asking me about an episode on mathematics. I think I'm the right person to tell you about it. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. And how were your vacations? You were somewhere in abroad, having a good time the last few days.
Actually, I had gone for the FICCI Arise conference
Okay,
to
okay, okay.
London. Yes, I was in London for some time for FICCI Arise conference. And then when last you asked me, I was in IIM. I was upgrading myself for doing a strategic leadership course with IIM Ahmedabad. So I'm just doing my small tidbits so that I keep myself upgraded. So that was
So how,
not a small
yeah,
vacation, but it was an official trip.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Vicky Rice also, it is a very good program. You're going over there. Many of my favorite people were there, Rathore sir, and many other people were there who had
Yeah.
been the show early. He had been in the show, and many other had been the show. Swati ma'am also
Yeah.
had to come, and she'll be coming very soon. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Mm.
Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Khushbu
Thank you.
Thakur, ma'am. She is the principal of a prestigious institution in Jam. It is in Gauti, that is Rajendra Vidyalaya. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming, Khushbu, ma'am. Because when you're coming up to these sessions, we are, thanks to the technology, they are getting us connected. Frankly speaking, when we are getting connected, so we are coming up to know the new places, the new cities, which you haven't heard about or never thought about, and you're connecting with people of those cities. I mean, I feel I'm the richest person on the earth when I'm doing this, getting connected with the people every week with these type of people. Like Nirali ma'am is there, Manoj sir, you are there, Anupam ma'am is there, Malini ma'am is there, and Khushbu ma'am and Kiran ma'am is there. You come to know about, the more you know about the different cities and different cultures, the more you love them and more become interactive towards each other. Thank you so much. Khushbu ma'am, thank you so much for joining us. Please let us know about yourself also and the place where you live. Ma'am, you're on mute. Khushbu ma'am, you are on mute. Yeah.
First of all, very good evening to all of you, Singh sir especially, and all the dear members present in this discussion, and especially to all those students who will be connecting with us in this virtual platform. First of all, I would like to thank sir for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to come on this talk show. And thanks once again for an overwhelming intro, sir. My schooling is from Cambridge, which is one of the very renowned school from Odisha. And further studies is also from Odisha, that is from Ravinshra University. Coming to my professional journey, I have joined there as a former head and ACM from Educational Institute of India, which is called Everon Systems India Limited and NIFA respectively. And from the year 2019, I have been chairing the post of principal of Rajendra Vidyalaya Gutiya unit.
And which is the biggest city near Gutiya? Ma'am, which is the biggest city, or which is the city near the Gutiya which is very famous?
Sir, Jamshedpur.
Jamshedpur is very near to Gutiya, you told.
Tata Nagar.
That's great, ma'am. Thank you so much and welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Manvi Malik, ma'am. She is also a principal of a very prestigious institution in Jaipur. Although Jaipur is also a very big hub of education, Vardhman International School, that is also a very famous institution in Jaipur. Thank you and welcome, Manvi, ma'am, for joining us. It's
Thank
pleasure.
you so much, sir.
It's pleasure you have come on the show, ma'am. Please let us know about your educational journey.
Sir, it's a long journey. I have been there in education line for last 29 years, approx 29 years I have completed. And I started my journey. I was a teacher. I'm a teacher by choice, not by chance. And I started as a teacher in 93. And since then, approx 18, 19 years as a social science teacher, I was little away from mathematics. So I was social science teacher, economics and psychology. My subject, I am master's in economics and psychology. And in 2013, I got opportunity to be the principal. I have taken over the responsibility, started new branch of Ryan International School in Ajmer. And since then, this leadership, I'm in this leadership role. And I'm about to complete my 9 years in leadership role also. And now teaching and training the teachers is the passion. So I believe that train the trainers. And as this week is going on, June, we all know that June time is the best time, last week of June, when we are about to open the school. So this regular session, training sessions and all. So I believe that if leaders themselves are training the trainers and that our own skill upliftment is there, and then teachers are also becoming more skilled and more competent to deliver the good content and good strategies to the students. So I love children and I love teaching and teaching my teachers.
That's amazing, ma'am. You're perfectly right. We should train the teachers. This is the high time during the starting of the session when the teachers have to be trained for sure. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome. I hope to have a good time with you also. Next, we have Anubha Shrivastava, ma'am. She is a principal of a very good and prestigious institution in Delhi, that is Delhi International School H. Welcome, Anubha, ma'am, once again to the show. It's a pleasure you have come again. Please let us know about yourself, because everybody should know who will be looking into the show. And although all the present over here, they should know about you. Over to you.
Good evening, Chandhok sir, and thank you for inviting me to the show once again. It is a delight to be here and interact with all the learned thought leaders. Like most of the panel members here, I am also a non-mathematics person coming from the field of biology. Initially, I used to be really scared of mathematics. The figure would scare me off. And then I have traveled the journey from fearful maths to fun-filled mathematics. So I'll be very happy to share the little anecdotes here and there which helped grow out of the fear of mathematics and embrace maths as a very interesting and a very, very beautiful subject.
That's amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming. And of course, we'll also learn from you that how that phobia converted into a fun. That will be a live example with us. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome. Next, we have Manoj Pillai, sir. He is the principal of Mar Thoma Vidyapeeth, that is in Kalyan. Welcome, Manoj, sir. You have also come for the first time into the show. Welcome, welcome, and thank you, sir. Sir, it is a pleasure you have joined us. Please let us know about you and your school, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for inviting. It is a delight to especially talk about the maths while telling about maths. It is my favorite subject. I love maths really while telling about. And I started my journey as a teacher while telling about. It is of maths really while telling about. While I was doing in 1996, I was doing my software engineering. Then actually the concept of software engineering was not there. It was of B-level course by DOEAC, that is Department of Electronics, in order to fulfill the need of the software needs, engineering needs like that. So while I was doing that from one of the prestigious institute from the Mumbai, that is of Maftalal Polytechnic, I started to teach students mathematics. That is for pocket money, etc. We can tell. So I see that, okay, actually it is maths is my passion, and the students around us really, okay, I feel me like this is your way. So let me telling I left that software engineering side and I started to teach as a that is full-time teacher from there onwards. So maths is so wonderful subject. It's a funny subject.
Sir, maths is still you surviving just because of the teachers like you, because who have always made the maths interesting, whether technology was there or not.
Correct.
Right, sir.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, and welcome, sir. I hope to have a to get a good experience from you also as a maths teacher. Thank you so much. Next, we have Kiran Chobe, ma'am. Kiran Chobe, ma'am, is the principal of a very prestigious institution in Gujarat, Jamnagar, that is Pranami Global School. I think this school runs up with both the boards, with the CBSE board as well as Gujarat board also. Am I right, ma'am? Ma'am, you're on mute. Ma'am, you're on mute, Kiran, ma'am.
Yes. Good evening, entire team. And it's really a privilege to be the member in this entire team. I'm really glad to be here. And this is Kiran Chobe from Pranami Global School, which is situated at the place of Reliance. This is Jamnagar. And we are working from CBSE plus GSCB board, which is having the class from pre-primary to 12th standard, sir. And we are basically working in commerce. So yes, I am a faculty of a maths, certainly. So this would be a very interesting topic what we are going to discuss. I really thank sir that he has given me a privilege to join this entire team. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Pleasure is mine. Next, we have the expert of today. He's a very interesting person, Mr. Nirbal Shah. He is the co-founder of Counting Well, a maths learning app for middle schoolers. The goal is to make mathematics learning easy, anxiety-free, and participative for children across the country. Their focus is to help the so-called average students become more confident with maths and develop great problem-solving skills. They step in where school teachers are not able to provide personalized attention due to bandwidth of time. Then he is also a designing career person with the courses he has made from the age group of 10 to 14 age. He is built around mathematics. Kids must know, his funda is that kids must know that maths matter and it will matter throughout their life. The best way to do that is to show them how. Sir has a vast experience of more than 2 decades into the industry with different positions and different companies. But coming up to personal level, when I met sir in one of the show, so I came to know about mathematics, and he told me the reasons why he started up this app with the middle schoolers. He realized me that, if you remember, sir, that till grade 5, the students, they love mathematics, but that revolves from them. But when it comes to middle school, the phobia becomes that no, maths is going to be a big thing for you. And that phobia creates, and ultimately the student lose interest in mathematics, and gradually that they leave mathematics when they come up to the higher classes after grade 10. So we are helping the students at this basic level where the root cause is, and help them through the AI based app, that how they can make it more interesting, how it is making teachers aware of what the children are doing. When I met him and I talked to him, had a lot of discussion, we had a lot of sessions also till now, and how that it is like that in a 40 club minutes class with the 40 students, a teacher cannot give time to the teacher, each and every student. He or she cannot know that what is where the child is lacking. But with the AI tools or these due to this technology, that teacher is able to become 40 on 40 teachers. That means one single teacher can become 40 teachers. Nirmal sir, I'm taking up your words. I'm so sorry, because I'm so inspired, and I'm using it also in my school, and coming to know that how great help the children are getting with this particular app. And the most important thing is Nirmal sir is giving this free of cost to the schools right now. So that is also that is the best part, because our managements right now after pandemic, they're not ready to to spend money right now. Nirmal sir, I won't speak much. Please let us know about yourself, how it came into my mind to start up a app, with a subject that which is very dreadful. Especially when I'm talking to many of the principals and talking to them to come for the maths, topic. So they are horrified. They're saying, we will have to come to your show, but don't say about mathematics. Mathematics is my forte. Please don't. Kisi or topic pe you call us, we'll come for that for sure. We'll have to come. So the phobia of maths is with the elders also, which they had. We had it. Maybe we had it during our school time also. Many of the principals are coming that I want to remove that phobia from myself and part of my teachers also. I do want to join, because basically I'm telling them we are not solving questions over here. We are talking about, we are principals, we are administrators. We have to find out the ways, whatever has happened during the old times, that teacher-oriented class which we had. Now it is a child-oriented class. So how can we remove this phobia? So a lot of help. And when I came to know about Nirmal sir's the app, though, it came to mind. The theme of the S.S.Chandhok talk show is, whenever we are coming up with different topics, when you're coming up with different topics, we are inspired by some people that we can go for this also. So we are talking about language learning also, we are talking about mathematics also. So here, this is a very important subject which has to be taken care of, because usually people say without mathematics there is no career. And of course, we know that mathematics is always there in your life. Even a housewife, when she's cooking, she's applying mathematics over there also. Thank you and welcome, Nirmal sir. You are an amazing personality, and the amazing work you are doing for the education fraternity, for all of us, it is really commendable. So please let us know about you and your, how did it came to your mind to start up this counting well with the mathematics, and what's the procedure of use of it? How is the teacher role is also there along with the students, or helping the teachers as well as the students also. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Those were very, very kind words. You are just too kind. But honestly, I've enjoyed being on your show. Uh, Wonderful people in every episode. And this time, I mean, I could just sense that energy coming from Pillai sir when he used the word mathematics. That smile was overflowing into everybody's screens. So great to be here and great to be amongst this audience. This whole variety, right from microbiologists to biologists to mathematicians, it's fantastic. All said, I think for all of us, the goal is to make learning for students, for children, easy. And that's what we are all trying to achieve. We started counting well, or we thought of counting well almost about 5 years back, when I was seeing my son move into middle school. As he got into middle school, I could see that change in his attitude towards mathematics. That excitement that he used to have when he came home started to simmer down. Right. And what I could see was that it started to turn into a task. Instead of being excited about the subject, he would only do it because there was homework, or because there was an examination, or because there was a project to complete and whatnot. And I tried to understand why this is happening. And frankly, I have faced this myself during my studies. So when I was studying, which was so many years back, but even then, I had noticed that I studied till fifth grade in a certain school, and then I moved to a different school. and that was a state board school. For 1 year, I studied in Tamil Nadu State Board School. And the year after that, I somehow didn't fit into that school and I joined a new school. This was a CBSE school. It was a very, very small school. I was, I think, the third batch, and in our class, there were about 20 students, 20, 22 students. So, what happened was that transition from that state board to CBSE was a very painful transition. I failed miserably in the first maths test that I got. And I couldn't believe that I could fail so badly. But what I also noticed was that the teacher there was able to understand what my problems were. She was able to understand why I was not doing well. And she was able to give me that kind of attention and remediation, so to speak, right? This is a word that we use today. At that time, these words didn't exist. She used to just say that, come home, I will teach you. It's not tuitions. In fact, she would feed us when we were, going to study with her. So that's how it was. And today, when I saw a few years back, when I saw my son going through this, what I realized was that his class had about 50 odd students. And it was impossible for the teacher to pay that individual attention to every child on an everyday basis and forget calling 10, 20, 30 students to our home and feeding them, right? That's not even practical. So what we realized is that there are certain aspects of maths learning which need to be given attention. They need to be personalized, because maths is a subject we all know that it's more about skill and understanding rather than simply saying that it's a subject which I can read from a book and learn about it. So how do we bring that intervention? And what we started with was, we said, let's do an assessment and try to understand why children are facing these problems. So we did one assessment. We created an assessment based on our understanding of the problem solving process. So what we realized was that when kids try to solve maths problems, of course, they need to know the concepts, they need to know the formulas, they need to know the definitions, all of that. But in addition to that, they have to have language skills, which is very, very important. They have to be able to understand the problem statement first. So that comprehension skill is extremely important. Next, especially when they get to middle school and above, they need to have what we call as modeling skills, where they are able to strategize or create a solution before actually solving the problem, right? So before they do any computation, they have to actually think of what are the steps or what are the different concepts which need to be brought together to solve that problem. So when we created this assessment, we tried to identify these skill gaps as well. So we said we have to understand what are the conceptual gaps and what are these specific skill gaps. While we were doing that, another thing that we also realized is that a lot of children have these gaps because of lack of previous knowledge. So what they may not have learned in the earlier years, or what they may not have learned well in the earlier years, is going to affect their current year's abilities, especially when it comes to mathematics. So we also had to determine what those gaps were. So when we created these assessments, we took it to a few schools. We gave it to about 1,500 students. This was almost, I think, 3 years or so ago. And we did these assessments as a pilot because we wanted to validate our ideas. So we were kind of outsiders. We were not part of the school or the education system, right? So we wanted to see if our thinking is right. In a way, looking at it from the outside gave us a whole new perspective because nobody would see it this way from the inside. So when we did these assessments and we gave the results back, we found that obviously comprehension was a very big area where the children lacked. Especially most of our kids, all of us, we don't come from English as a primary language, and therefore, kids are, their language abilities are not as much as the other subjects. So we had to find ways to understand if this was a big problem, and we did that. When we gave these results, the principal said that all this is fine. You have told us this is the problem. Everybody sits and talks about the problems, right? Some mein problem hai, ye hai, wo hai. But what we really need is a solution. So what do you guys have for that? And we didn't have anything at that time. So then we decided that we need to create this whole solution where we can include the teachers, we can include the schools, and we can include the students. So that's how Counting Well came to be, really. So what we actually did was we created a whole personalized learning program for children where we would identify all these gaps and misconceptions and then create a learning plan which would be differentiated, which would be specific to these learning gaps which we have identified for these specific children. At the same time, we also wanted to be sure that teachers would get very closely involved in this whole process. And the way we did that was that we packaged everything into something very simple. We said that instead of talking about all these learning gaps, formative assessments, skill gaps, this and that, which can become very overwhelming for people when they implement it, what we did was we just said that let's create a homework tool. So when the teachers look at it, all they do is, in fact, just today we launched a WhatsApp version of the whole thing. So the teachers would just get a WhatsApp message saying that your next homework is ready. Do you want to assign it? They tap assign homework. They just pick the chapter, pick 2 concepts or 3 concepts within that chapter and assign it to the class. And the whole class gets the homework. Now, what happens inside is that as the children do this homework, we start identifying where are they going wrong. We give them the remedial at that time, but more importantly, we identify the areas, the skills that are lacking, we identify the concepts where they are not doing very well, and based on that, now we start creating these reports for the teachers. So the teacher is able to see what learning objectives the children have not achieved. Teacher is able to see what skills every specific child is lacking in. What are the, let's say, what is the one question which every child in the class has got it wrong, right? So now that way, teachers are able to give that personalized attention, personalized remedial. Teachers are able to give them that intervention at the right time. We don't have to wait for term exams and then say that in this particular chapter the child scored low, so the child is not so good, and then you don't know why he is not so good, right? So we are able to bring that intervention while the chapter is being taught. So that's how this whole product is being packaged. So there is an app which the children use. It's a after school learning program, but it gets very well integrated with the homework platform which the teachers get access to. So, sir, I hope I have answered your question.
That's amazing, sir. Wonderful, because students now, they don't ask questions in the class. That is the most biggest problem, because they feel that others will make fun of him. You don't know this even. So that is why so many students, they don't ask. In our time, we used to ask and stand up like a fool or something, whatever you can say that, ma'am, we are not able to understand this, please tell us. Now they don't ask. They are very, very particular. When the students, they reach up in these classes, they don't allow their parents even to peep up into all the things. They say to stay away, we'll take care of that. So this is the era. And when they are going up with the apps like Counting Well, this is one-to-one. One-to-one, they are getting interacting. There is nobody to see. There's nobody to see the right. There's nobody to see the wrong. And they can see that how they can correct themselves. And the best thing I found out is, Nebel sir, was that anytime, whenever we feel, whenever we also want to work something very particular thing we are doing, we need concentration. When concentration is needed, it's not always there. Yeah. Anytime at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock at night, when they are ready to study, they can just open up the app and they can study. Whatever the gap has happened inside the class during the day, they can bridge that gap again when they come up to the next day. So it is a help. At the very same time, you told us, sir, again, now you have started up with the WhatsApp app. You told the last episode also you're going to start. That's a great help to the teachers. They are able to know where the child is lacking, which topic he is lacking, and as well as ready-made assignments are ready for the teacher according to the mental level of the child, because your apps or your assignments are checking the mental level of the students. What level questions do they need? They should go for NCRT. Suppose they should go for NCRT and RS Agarwal. So if directly you're giving it for RT Sharma, a very high-fi questions. So that way you are coming up to the pace of the student. We'll also talk to you about
to the level of the child rather than telling the child that you start at our level.
So you are able to find out graphically that where the students stand, where each and every student stand. Yes. And that is very important, because I think, and everybody will agree, that during education, 2 subjects are very necessary. The English, because English is also there in mathematics. English and mathematics, these are the most important things which you take care of. And mathematics during the middle school, although it should start from the very starting only, but the problem starts from the middle school. It becomes complex during the middle school. Thank you, Nebel sir. We'll also talk about other things during the later part of the session. We are in the shortage of time also, and we request to all the participants to please have a precise answer for 1 to 2 minutes only. I'll come up to the next round where we like to know the views of Nirali ma'am. Nirali ma'am, we would like to know your views on the saying that mathematics becomes a phobia in middle school instead of fun? What are the reasons behind it, according to you?
So as much as I have understood is one, I think it's a complete triangle between the student, teacher, as well as the parent, the background which they get at home. So first thing I think we start for every child is mathematics is a very difficult subject. So pay more attention to it. Or maybe there is sometimes a sharing from a teacher or a parent that I always found it very difficult. So you need to pay more attention to it. I think from there when we are tagging it, that it is difficult, on the back of mind, children start having that this is something going to be very difficult and I don't know whether I'll be able to do or not. So that starts creating, because it's a psychology, that we are telling the children that this is difficult. That means we are from the beginning telling them that this is something not very much learnable. And somewhere they start also feeling ki, okay, should I give a try to it or not? I don't know. And the second thing is probably the system in which we are teaching mathematics is not allowing them to explore or understanding mathematics as actually as a real life problem solver, but it's into a more of framework which expects that the certain questions has to be from textbook. There is a certain method only to be done. So it leads to memorizing and like all those things, which I think is not allowing the children to explore the actual charm of mathematics. And my observation being with educational initiatives and as a teacher trainer many times is because mathematics teachers themselves are not clear with the concepts, they also pass on what they have received earlier. And that's how everything goes forward. And by the time the child is moving forward to the middle school, they are already not liking the subject. And because they don't that phobia, they stop liking the subject actually, and they try that, okay, we would like to avoid this. That is actually very important. So
Right.
I guess this is the main reason that this is happening.
Absolutely right, man. In precise, you have told us that what is the actual reason. That triangle which we are saying is absolutely right. That the teacher and the parents and the class himself in the school, they come to know that no, it is going to be a big thing for you. And if you take it as a normal, this thing would happen. But the pressure tells the psychology changes the psychology that it is going to be a difficult thing for sure. Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Khushbu, ma'am. Khushbu, ma'am, according to what are your opinion about this topic that math becomes a phobia instead of fun? Till grade it was fun, but from 6th onward it becomes phobia. What are the reasons behind it? Ma'am, you're on mute.
Sir, I'm also not from mathematics background, rather I'm art student, and really this was a phobia in our time also. The reason is that knowingly or unknowingly, we as a parent, when we are sitting with our children and helping them to complete their task, we even say it is very difficult, complete it. We need to really work hard, do more and more exercise. So unintentionally or intentionally, we are only conveying the message to the student that it is difficult. Secondly, first we need to acknowledge the thing where this gap lies. And when we teach the student in an old traditional method, keep on telling that put up the formula, you will get the answer. But we are not allowing the child to drill more and more. We are not teaching the innovative techniques to them, that in this way you can drill down the objective, in this way you can come up to the solution. That I think is the reason we feel maths is a phobia. And another reason is peer pressure. And as a teacher, we call up some student to come and solve this problem on the board. And they solve. And some people feel, though I'm not getting a chance, rather I'm fearful, I cannot go and solve on the board. This is also some reasons that, yeah, it is big pressure on the children's mind that maths is real phobia, we are unable to solve. And when we think that, yeah, it is an examination time, we need to pay more attention, another pressure is of examination. So when we yes, so what we do is when we correlate the thing with the real life objective, that we are teaching maths is required in all platform. Then only it will be clear with the vision of student and they will be solving more easiest way. We have teach the subject in more creative method. We have to correlate with the real life examples. And then the student can use maths as a weapon and they can learn math more interesting way.
Right. Right, ma'am. Absolutely right, ma'am. Again, the pressure from the society, from the parents even actually. Yeah, I wasn't able to do, mama will be saying that I wasn't able to do maths at all. It's a very difficult thing. Please take care of that. Why aren't you doing maths every day? Do maths every day. कुछ करो ना करो रोज maths जरूर करो. It's a very difficult thing. You know that every day you recite that and make the learned child that it is a difficult thing, difficult thing. I will not be able to do. That goes into his mind and becomes a phobia. Another interesting thing you said was that while the teacher always called those students only who are very good at mathematics, why you solve this at the board. And when you feel depressed that he is able to do, I'm not able to do, that means I'm really not good at mathematics. So that is a demotivation to the student for sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come to Malini ma'am. Malini ma'am, in your opinion, why do middle school students lose interest in mathematics?
So according to my opinion, till fifth standard maths is like playing with numbers. When they come to sixth standard, they have to go with this linear equation, this and that, so many big formulas they have to mug up. And here the pressures start existing there on them. Already it is coming from generation that, as other my fellow friends have told, it is coming from generation. It is about mindset that maths is difficult subject. And when they see these formula, they have to mug up. They are not ready to correlate with the real life examples. This is the main cause that maths becoming a phobia for them. And according to my opinion, if the maths is being played in a fun way method and then it is being related, and why factor is missing, because student is mugging up the formulas, but student doesn't know that why I am doing that and why I have to learn and what is the importance of learning these formulas and where I will implement them in life. Like we are telling them to learn trigonometry, but where trigonometry is becoming useful for our life, that is missing. If I talk about the middle school, they all are learning all these formulas and doing RS Agrawal and so many books are there. But if you're telling them to take out the area, perimeter or diameter of one building, one room or something, it is missing because the practical approach is not there. It is missing. They're not able to connect. And other ways, sometimes the monotonous way of teaching of maths in classroom is all. So if it is being played in a fun way, where the as app is being introduced there, Nirmal sir has introduced the app, and so on Kahoot and so other quiz and puzzles are there. So if we are making it fun-filled for the students, I think it will not be the phobia for the students. We can turn it into a fun. So here somewhere we parents, teachers, and entire system is responsible for becoming maths a phobia for the students, which lasts lifelong. And moreover, sometimes whenever students nowadays is from 6, 7 standard onwards, parents, they start planning what my child will do and where child will go. So if the child finds I am not having any career in this field, because sometimes I have seen the students are even changing their career goals if they are having fear with the maths. Because of maths, they change their goals also. So this is because of that we are not able to solve the why factor, which is most important in a student's life, that we should know why I am studying this, what is the use in life, and why I should study this, and where I can implement this thing. So this is the reason why maths phobia is there in middle school, according to me.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely right. This is the most important reason why students lose interest in mathematics. We'll come up to Anubha ma'am. Anubha ma'am, we'll also like to know your opinion on the saying that that why do middle school students lose interest in mathematics?
I agree to most of the points that have been shared by the worthy panel members here. And I was just recollecting my childhood and my struggles with mathematics. I never faced the problem of people around me telling maths is difficult. In fact, my father, I would go with any problem to him and he would say very easy, very simple, and he'll solve the problem in a jiffy. And what happened with me is then he would explain it to me also how he's done it. But somewhere it made me believe that something that is very easy for him isn't coming to me naturally. So probably I'm not made for it. It is not always that someone telling you that it is difficult. For my case, it was the other way around psychology. And what is important for a student is not just to know how to do it, also understand deep down what you are doing, why you are doing the way you are doing. And this all zeroes down to the practical application and addressing the multiple intelligence level of students with respect to mathematics. I always had a fondness for arts and drawing. So geometry was an instant inclination for me. I found geometry easy and I was scared of figures. I'm taking the practical examples of what I faced as a math student. And so somewhere then a friend of mine made me believe that, see, you're not running away from maths, you're running away from figures because you're enjoying geometry. So you need to focus on the concepts. And then I, through my process of research in biotechnology, I came across one graphical concept of asymptote. The mathematics people will understand here. And the formula of asymptote made me go mad. It had trigonometry also in it, and it had so many other dimensions. And I gave up. I said, no, I'm not made for it. My teacher sat down with me and he made me understand the biology part of asymptote. And believe me, till date, having taught 11th and 12th for so many years, I never turned back to a maths teacher asking me to take it through asymptote. Hats off to Saxena sir, who taught me what asymptote is, and not through the formula, but through my concept of ecology. So somewhere as teachers, you need to understand what is the area of interest of the children and integrate it with the concept that the child is finding difficult. There lies the magic of making the subject interesting and captivating the interest of the student to try more and more. So I'm trying to keep it very brief, Sarjeet sir. Otherwise,
right, ma'am. Thank you so much. I mean, what we can understand is a good teacher can change your life. A good teacher, can make the subject very interesting, and you will love the subject for the whole life. That is what has happened.
For any subject, magic.
One of the principal came over here and she told that her son was in grade 12, 11th. He did not very good, 70%. And a teacher she found, he used to come twice in a week because in Delhi NCR, the teachers are very expensive or they don't have much time. So within 2 or 3 months, he made maths so interesting with the child in grade 12 during the pre-boards or during the board examination that he scored 90 plus in that subject. So a good teacher can always, this is what the reform we need, that the teachers need to change themselves, their way of teaching, or in one line, we can say they should move from a teacher-oriented class to a student-oriented class. If they will go up with these type of things, now they have tools, they have technical tools, they have tools like we have counting well and many other for other subjects also. If these are being provided to them, that will be help to them because they always have an excuse that how can we teach every student, we can solve all the problems in a 40 minutes class to a 40 class or 50 class student. So now they can do a lot with the students, but if they want for that, and that is mostly needed with the student, with the teachers as well. Thank you so much, Anubha ma'am. We'll come up to Manoj sir now. Manoj sir, please, because you're a maths teacher, you had been teaching throughout your life. In precise, please let us know or give us few suggestions or ways in which a teacher can make maths more interesting and easy.
Yes, sir. Actually, who can make maths more interesting is none other than teacher, because teacher is the soul of this. Actually, to make this maths very interesting, I will just narrate some examples how the maths can be done very interesting and what actually the teachers are doing. Some mistakes, but I noticed the teachers are doing. One thing is that that is already many principals told that, okay, that is of what actually, that is, we are not connected with the real life things, okay, with the mathematics. Actually, it is the one thing, that is, maths can be connected to the real life. The one thing that is we can do is when a teacher, now just think that, okay, how many teachers while teaching addition, okay, taking some marbles with them, and they are telling that this is the 2 marbles and this is of 3 marbles. When we add it together, okay, we will get 5 marbles. That is what the addition of 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Okay, this is the experiential method and anyone can do. But I found that seldom teachers are doing this. And the other thing is that when it is of coming to the middle level also, that is of, okay, when we are teaching, okay, normally what the teachers normally do is they will teach the formulae. After teaching the formulae, they never find that whether the student really understand the concept of the formulae or what is the basic aspect of the formulae and whether there it is in the memory. Okay, instead of getting all that things, they will start to do the sums on the board. Okay, now actually the shocking part is there. Okay, this after solving the sum on the board, but the last at the end of that, once they completed the answer, okay, then what they normally the teacher do, now you copy this sum. It is the normally the word the math teachers are using and they must not have to use because there the phobia starts. Now the teachers normally teach the subject of maths as like that of history or any other subjects, which should not be. Okay, that is here it is of a real life. That is the maths is a problem solving aspect and a real life it is very useful it is there. Okay, so the mugging up don't have any chance there in mathematics. So while a teacher is teaching, okay, it must have to be taught in that manner. And the second thing, when it is so come to already ma'am told that, okay, that is there is the when it is so coming to the middle level, it is a high level of sums are there. So it will become very difficult to teachers to teach properly without concept. Though the storytelling and all is a very interesting aspect we can use in the middle level. Storytelling now while we are teaching about the linear equations, okay, where the two variables are there. Normally what the teachers will do is, okay, teacher will tell that x and y are the two variables. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 7. Okay, so it is a linear equation, okay, etc. etc. Okay, they will tell. Now, while it is can be told very nicely that the two friends were going to the market. Okay, and both of them are decided to buy potatoes and onion. Now, one buy 5 kg of potato and 3 kg of onion. And he paid 100 rupees. And other buy 2 kg of potatoes and 5 kg of onion and paid 70 rupees. Now, look, when we connect this, okay, this and now you just ask to them that, okay, how many you can tell that, okay, how do now without knowing, we don't know the how much the cost of potato and how much the cost of onion. Okay, how they how will you find the cost of this onion and potato? Okay, so this is the real time. They feel like that, yes, it is having some use in our real life. Okay, so like that, when we connect the things with the real life, it become more interesting. So it is only the teachers can do that. And the other one of the important aspect of the mathematics is that, okay, I told like that the teachers consider maths as like that of another subject. Now here the maths is the only one such subject that what we studied in the nursery is useful in the 10th standard. Then normally the teacher is also forget and even the students also forget. Normally the what is the nature of the student is whatever I studied today or whatever studied this year, okay, just you forget it out. Okay, next year, okay, we will study something new. But it will not happen with the mathematics. Mathematics required the previous knowledge while telling. So before teaching something concepts, okay, we must have to invoke their previous knowledge. What actually, whether they remember, okay, what they studied in the previous years. Okay, that is very important. So in this manner, while we are, that is for that purpose, even we have to change the evaluation part also while telling about. Okay, what we are doing is that, okay, this evaluation part, normally what we do is, okay, like that ma'am told that, okay, whatever it is there, okay, this much inside questions are there. Okay, this you studied, it is properly, so you will get this much mark. No, it must not be. And here the concepts to be taught very properly and make them understand that, okay, maths is a very easy and funny subjects. Why it is so? Earlier, you may know that 100cc this bike was there in the market on this was there, put it, shut it, and forget it. Okay, this is actually while telling about the maths also. Okay, once you understand the concepts and once you understand the steps through which it can be reached, and you know the formula. This much things you know properly, you need not to even go behind it and practice only to polish it. Okay, now the practice while telling about it is, okay, normally what the teachers also will do it, you mug it up. That is the practice they mean. Okay, no, the maths is not a subject to mug it up. Okay, if the phobia behind this maths is because the students started to mug up the maths. So once they mug up the maths, okay, obvious, okay, what happened when they go to the exam? Obvious, okay, as like that of other subjects, it will not be produced on the paper. So this is the fact of that. So only the thing what we have to do is, okay, we have to teach mathematics in a real-time manner, that is of make them very interesting, that okay, it is in your real life, okay, it is going to use. I always tell the student also, only a good students, those who are having the good in mathematics, become a good citizen also. Why it is, okay, the maths is full of rules. Okay, because now to become a good citizen, okay, we must have to follow the rules. Okay, the same thing that there in the maths also. That is, it is a plus b is equal to c. When this b plus b is taking to the other side, the plus become minus. That is a rule. Okay, that we must have to follow. Okay, so being a good citizen also, you be good in maths. Okay, so like that, a lot of things are there in the maths. We can relate it to the real life. Okay, once the teacher really succeed in that, instead of telling that copy, okay, whatever I did in the board, okay, copy it down. Okay, instead of telling that, understand what I did on the board. Okay, and you once you understand it, you write it down. You give them time. And the other thing is, so how the exercise to be done while telling about. Okay, now normally whether it is a NCERT book, SCERT book, any book. Okay, the exercise is made it in such a manner that, okay, the first few sums are of easy, middle sums are of tough, that is of normally average, and the last few sums are of little bit tough. That is, this is a manner normally a exercise is set up. Now, what a teacher must have to do for that is, normally what the teacher is doing, okay, teacher's responsibility is that, okay, solve all the sums on the board. Okay, then tell that to copy it down. Okay, and practice. This must not be the way.
Right.
The way must be that, okay, we know that, okay, these are the order in which the exercise is set up. Okay, and we must have to educate the parents also. Now, I will come to that point also, little not going far. Okay, that is all. When we are teaching, only teach three sums in from an exercise. First one, middle one, and the last one. The rest of the sums must be done by the students itself. It is not like that, okay, you do some and make, now here the part, now some teachers are there, okay, they are normally doing, now the problem is with the parents. Okay, what the parents will say, this teacher is not teaching anything in the class. Okay, he is teaching one or two sums from the exercise. Okay, that we must try to educate the parents also for the same. So in that manner, if we make that is, it is totally in the hands of the teachers to make the students, okay, good in mathematics. And again, society is also playing a good role, like that of my other principals told that, okay, it is a phobia normally created by the society. Okay, they tell that, okay, maths very tough. Okay, no, I tell that, okay, you started to love maths. Okay, that is the only solution. You started to love maths. Okay, now how can you love maths? Okay, only the thing is that in order to love anything, anybody, okay, you spend time with it. Okay, so this is the only the solution. Okay, you spend time. Okay, if you spend time with the maths, okay, you started to love it. Okay, and nothing, no need to look behind it. Okay, so like that, the maths will be
Pillai sir, I had been a accountancy teacher, and there were many students who had taken mathematics along with accountancy, and they used to ask me, sir, how is accountancy? Because after 10th, this is a new subject which is coming up. So I used to say, sir, better maths and accountancy are the easiest subject on that.
Correct.
So please say, you can say about accountancy, but for maths you cannot say it is very easy. Maths is very difficult till date. We have taken mathematics, but still it is very, this is all because the concept, the way you teach the student you had been teaching. So all the teachers, if they become like you, it will be become very interesting. And now these technologies, these tools have come, like we're talking about counting well, they help a lot to the teachers. They cannot escape from like this, that how much can we teach so many students differently, alag, so many chapters and so many exercises we have. Thank you so much, Manoj sir. We'll come up to Nirmal sir. Nirmal sir, we have heard all the eminent guests as an expert. Please tell us how is this app making all, I mean, removing all these problems which had been, in the mathematics teaching since long. The phobia and this and that, and the parents are also pressurizing, and the students are, I mean, the teachers are also pressurizing. I'm not able to take up mathematics, so I mean, I don't have so much periods inside the class, 8 to 10 periods only in a week. How can we take up all the things so differently? Like Pillai sir is saying, you should teach only few concepts only. It happens sometimes in mathematics that 3 to 4 exercises are taught in one day only. 3 exercises are taught by the teacher in one day. Very rightly, one of the guests was saying that they write up, mostly they write up on the board. Okay, you copy this. Sir was also saying, you copy this. Copy this. Mathematics has to be copied. It doesn't have to be learned. It has to be understood. That is the most important thing. So, sir, in all, says, let us know how is this app helping the teachers, that making their work easy, and it is making them a multiple teacher, and also it is also lessening down the burden of the students also.
Sure, sir. So first, I will take up one word that Pillai sir brought up, love, right? So, there is a saying that if you love something, you let it go. And if it comes back, that means it loves you back. Mathematics ko aap chhod do. You leave mathematics and you will find that mathematics comes back to you throughout your life. So mathematics loves you. Now it is up to you ki how much you love mathematics back, right? And how we create that love is really our job as educators. So, going back to some of the points which came up. So, Nirali ma'am said that one thing is that teachers' misconceptions get passed on. And that is something that we have seen as well. In fact, I'm reminded of this incident that when we did these pilot assessments, some of the principals asked us to do it on the teachers as well. They said that we would like the teachers to do the same assessment. Now, one obvious thing that we found was, of course, that where the students were failing, even the teachers were not doing very well. So it was very clear that, the same point, that the misconceptions are getting passed on. The second thing we found is one of the teachers called me and said that this is a 6th grade problem that you have given here. I am an 8th grade teacher and I cannot solve this problem because I don't look at this 6th grade topic anymore, which was very, very surprising, right? When we say that the whole curriculum is designed in such a way that 6 builds to 8 and 7 builds to 9 and so on, then why would the teacher not say that? Why would the teacher say that I cannot solve the 6th grade problem? So we realized that it all comes back to this thing, that all I have to do is that there are these 10 problems in the textbook. Let me write it on the board and let the children copy it. My job for the day is done. So this is obviously a huge, huge problem, right? And we cannot say that, in a country like India, where there are thousands of schools and lakhs of teachers, there will always be this group of teachers who will not be able to rise up to that level. So instead of saying that the teachers are bad, how can we create something which helps the teachers? That's what is extremely important. And I go back to one of the previous episodes, sir. If you remember, Hema Kalakoti ma'am, she had brought this up, that technology can be a very useful tool for a lot of teachers. Now, there are a bunch of teachers who are very passionate. You tell them that there is something new, a new way of teaching, a new tool, they will pick it up by themselves. They will learn, they will figure it out. But there is this whole other category of teachers who will not do it, who are not very flexible, who don't want to be flexible for various reasons. Now, how can we help them? The way to help them is that if we can make technology their friend and say that, look, this is going to make your job easier. This is going to actually reduce your workload. This is going to actually not make you or not force you to do something which you don't have to do or you don't want to. So that's how we, kind of created this whole packaging around this homework module, right? Because what we said is that now, hey teacher, here is a homework. Okay, all you have to do is click a button, homework will get assigned. You don't have to create the questions, you don't have to correct the answers. But what will really happen is that every child will get a homework to his level. Now, this brings to another point, right? That are we going to give this same RD Sharma to every child? Or are we going to give this same NCRT question to every child? Because every child is not at that level And if we force them to answer the same question, they will start getting discouraged because they will not be able to solve it. So instead of that, can we create something where we start at the child's level, let them solve that, let them achieve that, and make them feel confident that yes, I can do this on my own. So that is the other aspect that we bring in, where we say that you give the homework, but we will do a differentiated set of questions for the different children. We will make sure that a child who is at a level where they can only do calculations and they do not have the ability to model a solution, we will not give them that complex problem. Let them do the calculation first, then let them go up to the next level, right? Then at least they will have that confidence that I can do this. There is nobody who's going to tell me that I cannot do it. I have done it. It's in front of me, right? So that is the other aspect. Now, there was one more interesting thing which came out, which said that, teachers write it on the board. They don't even check if the student learned or not, right? Now, that's what, Pillai sir, you said that they don't check. They don't verify if the student has learned. So how do we validate that, and how does the administration get that data? Now, the other part of it is that even the principals don't know, right? As far as they're concerned, the class is over, syllabus is complete. So only when the results come out do they start getting to know if the teaching was effective or not. So what we can do is that with these kind of formative assessments, or you call them diagnostic assessments, whatever name you give them, right? But ultimately, what we are doing is we are capturing a lot of data. Data is very, very powerful if you use it in the right way. So now we present the data to the teachers, which tells them what are the learning outcomes children are not meeting, what are the learning gaps. At the same time, even the administration is able to see this data. They are able to see that this class has met these learning outcomes, this class has not met these learning outcomes. And therefore, if they have to make that intervention happen, they can do that, right? So, and that becomes very useful for the administration as well. So no more teacher saying that, remember this formula, I've written it down and I'm not going to check. Even if the teacher is not going to check, the app is going to check whether they learned it or not. And the app will come back and say that, sorry, ma'am, they have not learned it. Please make sure that this child learns it. So that's a very, very powerful, information or powerful knowledge that we can give back to the teachers as well as to the administration. And finally, I will touch upon this that, everybody has been talking that we want to relate it to real life examples. We want to show the children how all the maths that they learn is connected with the real life. So what we are doing, for example, is that we have created all these courses. What you see here, we have created a course on data science. Now, what we are saying is that it's not data science where you have to do like a k-means algorithm and so on, which is, the basis of all that is really probability and set theory, right? So why don't we teach them that set theory again? Why don't we teach them the Venn diagrams again? Why don't we teach them probability again and show them how it relates to the data science which they might use in their future, right? They use any kind of analytics, right? Not just becoming a data scientist. Even if you use some kind of analysis of data in your life, then you need to have the knowledge of all these things. So we have to teach them that. So these are the kind of things that we build in. One of the other interesting thing that we started doing a couple of months back is we created something called Monthly Maths Marathon. That's a competition. Now, in this competition, what we do is that we don't ask any direct maths question at all. All the questions that the children get are what we call as, or what we know as higher order thinking problems, right? So we gave them a question on atoms and electrons and protons. We gave them another question on fishes swimming in water. Now, how does that relate to mathematics? That is where we make them think. We start making them think about how to look at all of these things from the perspective of mathematics that they've learned in their class. If it's a sixth grade child, we are giving them the problems around the sixth grade concepts that they've learned. But there is no such thing which says that here is a maths problem for you, right? We are saying that here is a problem where, there is an atom, there are some neutrons, there are some electrons. And how do we bring the number system, there's a chapter called playing with numbers. How do we involve that, or how do we involve integers into this? Because if you lose an electron, what happens? There is a positive charge, right? So there is addition or subtraction happening here. Now, the chemistry that you learned, we are going to associate that with mathematics. If we are able to do that, then the children start seeing maths in a very different light, right? Now, the other interesting thing we found is that with these problems, though they are not taught in the classroom, the children were actually able to solve these problems. Why were they able to do that? One, they found it interesting, and second, hopefully somewhere they were able to relate it with the mathematics that they learned.
Yeah,
right?
correlate.
Exactly.
Correlate.
So we create that correlation, we create content in this manner. That is where we are able to show the whole interesting part, right? So fun or phobia, we are able to bring that fun into the whole thing.
Sir, one question I want to ask, because I'm coming a little late, but it's a very important question which everybody would like to ask from here, from the panel, that these last 2 years children didn't study at all. Their Google Baba did all their papers and their teamwork did all their papers. It is acceptable with all the subjects, they will cover it up. But they haven't studied mathematics last 2 years. So how is your app helping them? A student studied, suppose during pandemic, he was in grade 6 and 7, and now he has come in grade 8 right now. So how is this gap? Because practically speaking, when he come up to grade 8, he will not be able to do mathematics, because in 6th and 7th, he never did mathematics.
Very true.
So how this problem is being solved in your app?
So what we do is that when we give them an 8th grade problem, we also, the way we have structured our data or the whole content is such that we have kind of created this whole chain. So we say that if there is this particular concept that is being taught in 8th grade and there is a particular learning outcome they have to achieve in 8th grade, is there a concept which is related in the 7th grade which they should have known? And with that 7th grade concept, is there a concept from 6th grade? So now if they are not able to achieve a learning outcome in 8th grade and we test that and we identify that, then we ask them the 7th grade problem. Okay? Then we say, are you able to solve this problem? If they are not able to solve that, then we go one step further back and we say, are you able to solve a 6th grade problem? So if they are able to solve the 6th grade problem, then we know that they learned something in 6th, but 7th is where the problem is. So let's fix that first. So when then we give them the learning, the personalized learning, then it does not go back to that 8th grade because they are in 8th grade, but we start with the 7th grade concept which they have to learn. Let them learn that, we retest them, and if they have achieved that, then we go up to 8th grade. So that way we are able to identify those learning deficits and fill those learning deficits as well.
That is very good. That is very good. You're going back to grade 5, 6th, and when he's covering up that, you come back to 7th again, then you're coming up to 8th. This is how you're bridging up the gap, learning gap, which has happened during his last 2 years. Yeah. That is very fantastic thing you have added, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to the next round. It's a very interesting topic, but we are in shortage of time. Request to all the participants, please make your answer very precise into 60 seconds, not more than that, please. We'll come up to Nirali ma'am. Nirali ma'am, according to you, how does technology helps in making maths more interesting and easy?
Devil sir has almost gave us a brief background that how mathematics and technology amalgamation has actually helping. But I would say as a teacher, mathematics can be taught best with technology. When it is in the adaptive, if it is an adaptive technology, yes, it really works well. Second, nowadays the children are more used to actually having an actual picturization of what they are learning. So if the technology helps them to have through the, like as you said once in the beginning, like storytelling as one of the method of teaching mathematics. So actually technology brings that alive, and that is one way. Then it causes a lot of simulation to the children, and that is how technology. So one basically I feel is, if it is adaptive technology, it is one of the best way to help them learn mathematics. Because I also have been involved with one such product which was actually technology based and teaching mathematics in my one of the previous projects. So I know that how it helps the children. Even the children with special needs did really very well in mathematics because we helped them through the technology. So, and another very important thing is, every child has their own pace of learning. So that technology helps them to learn at their own pace, which probably that point also came up during our discussions, that there is a lot of peer pressure on students, that they want to perform better in front of their peers. But if they're if they are not being pressurized for that peer, and they feel that yes, they can go ahead at their own pace, they would learn it more better and acceptability would increase. Then probably that phobia part also would go away. That psychology works actually.
Right, absolutely right. Absolutely right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Khushbu ma'am, your views on the saying that technology makes maths more interesting and easy.
Yes, sir, I completely agree. But to some extent, technology helps to reduce maths phobia. There are certain software available and basically designed for maths, which can clear their fundamental skills and concepts. Secondly, there are several techno experts available for from mathematics background, you can say, in net, where you can leave your queries and they come up with different solutions in a different methodology. And there are several apps available which is designed specially for teaching maths. And yeah, it is very true that Nirmal sir has very nicely explained all the benefits of app. Yeah, psychologically, all the children pace of studying and improvement is not same. They need different types of question sets. As even we can say identical twins are also not same. Their understanding level, IQ level, EQ level differs from each other. And sir, I believe that teachers are the one who can create interest among the students relating to any subject. And if once the interest is created in student and they start solving, they feel happy. And in this process, I think maths can dwell well. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely right, ma'am. This is also a method which can make maths more interesting and fun. We'll come up to Malani ma'am. Malani ma'am, we'll like to know your views on the saying, it is often seen that children learn mathematics instead of understanding it.
Yes, sir. Rightly said that children, they mug up, they memorize like SST, English and other subjects. They start learning mathematics. This is the way the problems start. So if we can, as earlier also have told, if we can make it more practical, then it can be more fun-filled. It can start from home also, that when mother is doing some household work, then can connect to convert kilogram into liters and this kind of small calculation, driving to school and with parent, then distance, concept of distance, speed, velocity can be discussed with the child, and then child can better understand. Grocery bills are there at home. That time also the decimal concept can be well understood. And nowadays technology has transformed the world and especially education sector. So I've seen the not only teachers, students, parents, all they are also more inclined towards this technology and different type of apps and all these are there. They're finding it more friendly to the students. I've seen my teachers, they're experimenting with different type of tools and coming up, like I will give example, Kahoot I have said. Kahoot quizzes are there, Sudoku, and I have seen the Monopoly game they were playing in class one day. And children were learning all this calculation and negotiation and all this. One war game is there that is also online these days. So children can learn.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes.
Right, ma'am. The practical approach, playway method, all this is needed during the teaching of mathematics for sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. Anubha, ma'am, are you there? Yeah, Anubha, ma'am, we will also like to know your views on the saying that often students learn mathematics instead of understanding.
First and foremost thing, Chandhok sir, I will disagree to the concept of learn when we say rote learning. Learning, as per the biological phenomena, is a repeated process of doing the same thing over and over again, which leads to formation of a memory. I cannot learn mathematics. At the most, I can learn the tables or one single numerical overnight by repeatedly doing it over and over again. Under the instructions, if I am doing certain thing in a repeated manner to actually get a hang of what the sums, numericals, problems are about, that is when the learning will happen. How can I learn mathematics? The figures change and the answer will change.
Right.
So the children cannot learn mathematics at all. At the most, they would end up for a fraction of time, go to the examination hall with one question and come back blank if the question has had a slightest change in the question format.
Absolutely right, ma'am.
And when I say understanding, it is not just understanding of concept, it is the analysis of concept.
Right. Yes, you did right, Anubha, ma'am. I'll take an example. I took it earlier also in the shows that you see when a green crosser is coming to your lane and you are asking for something 1 kg, some half kg, and something 100 grams, something 250 grams. He's illiterate, but within few seconds, he'll tell you how much money you have to pay. At the very same time, you're giving the same question to a child when in form of word problem, he'll start using the formulas. I only remember one formula which I use it all the time. A plus B whole square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB. The teacher is teaching the formula, but he's not telling why this formula has been applied, how this formula has been derived. So this is the concept. The practicality has to be added before the formulas. That is very important. That is now also, Anupam ma'am, I've come to know that you need not learn tables also. Am I right, Manoj sir? You need not learn tables also. Table is also not to be learned now.
The tables, if you're learning the tables, you will not be able to apply it unless you know that when I'm saying 2 2s are 4, what actually is 2 2s are 4 and where it goes in the problem. So you have to apply it. So the basic purpose of learning is you keep on doing the same concept over and over again in different manners. That is when the learning of mathematics will happen. And we are discussing a different topic today, when today is the Statistics Day, 29 June.
Yeah, that's a perfect day to discuss this topic for sure. Thank you so much, Anupam ma'am.
While talking about the tables, sir, it is rightly told. I see that some teachers tell the students to learn table up to 25. Okay, that is, you learn the table. It is up to 25. You have to learn it and you write it. It is like this. Actually, for me, while telling about, okay, the student must have to learn the table only up to 9. Because after 9, the learning table is immaterial actually. There is no need, and it is a waste of time of them as well as their effort. We are telling, we are just wasting their energy, because that much is enough to do all the maths problems actually while telling about. So like that, many misconceptions are there, okay, which makes the maths very tough for that. That is actually the phobia. From here, the starts the phobia, because a student have to learn a table of 19, 20 like that. Okay, if it is telling, it will be very difficult. They feel, okay, they started to hate the subject actually.
Right. Right, sir. Sir, we'll come up to you again, sir. We like to know your views in precise. The post-pandemic children have become more smart. Thus, teachers have to become more smarter with the latest technology.
Yes, sir. While telling about the technology, really will work for maths. Okay, because rather than that is, it is nowadays all of us know that, okay, there is technology. Okay, especially there is we can say that is the education field is bulldozed with the technology. Okay, so technology, okay, must be the part of the education, but never, we must have to understand, especially in the case of maths, okay, it will never replace a teacher. Okay, because the teacher is the part. Okay, so the technology can never replace the teacher, especially in the case of maths. Okay, some other subjects is better. Okay, they can replace even to a great extent, but for maths, the teacher play an important role. Okay, so that, but the obvious, okay, like that the ma'am told that, okay, like that of the storytelling or some other, the different technology can be, okay, introduced so that the concept of some aspect will be easy for the students. For that, the technology can be used. But only the thing is that the teacher must have to outsmart the technology. That is the most important today. Okay, because we always tell that the technology, and at the same time, now, sir, I'm just for precise, I will tell that the complaint of the teacher is that we are not getting respect. Okay, because earlier there was respect for the teachers. Now we are not getting the respect. Okay, the only one factor for that is of the, okay, Google Baba. No, the teacher, before the teacher is teaching the aspects, the student already know how about it from the Google, from other thing. And here, when the teacher, that is always it is if the teacher can outsmart the technology, he will get the respect. It is like that. Okay, for that we must have to use some real time. That is not the technology, that is so experiential learning is the only one way, okay, that really we can get respect. Okay, something different you must have to do it, but technology sure will work for the.
Sir, I do agree. Teachers say that we used to respect and we still respect our teachers, but the student don't respect. So we do say them that now you don't get respect, you have to earn your respect. If you are giving to the child, they will
Exactly,
always
sir.
respect you now also.
Exactly.
I remember my 25 years back when I went to my principal to thank him for keeping me in the school. So he said, don't thank me. Thank to these students who keep inside the school, who show you the way out. So students, they have become very smart as of now. They will decide. They decide now. What we were doing is we were not actually respecting. We were of fear. We were studying in missionary schools, boys' schools. So the teacher used to have a thin cane. So we thought we will not respect the teachers, so we'll be caned. Now you can touch him. So the teachers have to be very responsible while teaching any subject we talk about.
Exactly,
They will
sir.
for sure. They will for sure give respect. Whatever students you have taught throughout your life, Manoj sir, they still might be respecting you wherever they are. They're commenting you on the social medias. They're meeting you. They're greeting you very well the way the olden times was. It will always be there for sure. Thank you so much, Manoj sir. We'll come up to Nirmal sir. Nirmal sir, now we'll like to know your views of the second round as an expert. Then please let us know about one or two things. First thing is that the 20 minutes concept is over there. That because usually the parents, they have an complaint that if we allow gadgets to the children, they keep on using it throughout the day. So that concept and what other additional things are over there in the app, which is helping the students and the teachers also. It is for sure already we have talked that it will never remove the role of a teacher. It is always these type of technologies, always a tool for the teachers and the students. Teachers cannot be removed at all from India. Over to you, sir.
Absolutely, sir. So that's what I will start with, that teachers will always have a very, very important role in the child's development, right? Even more than parents. I have seen myself that till my son was in about eighth grade or so, parents were wrong, teacher was always right. Whatever the teacher has said, there is no way we as parents could contradict that, right? That is the impression which the teacher has on the child's mind. So where technology comes in is how we can help the teacher, right? Ultimately the goal is to make that whole teaching learning process more contemporary, to make it in line with what is happening in today's world. We can always go and say that the Gurukul system was fantastic and all that, but then today it doesn't exist. Today, what exists is that the child will sit in the bus, come to school, spend 5 hours, go back. That's it, right? In many schools, the child will not even carry the books back home. So, with that kind of system, how can we empower the teachers? How can we give the right kind of assistance to the teachers so that they can become more effective? That's what really matters. So that's where technology plays a role, I think, and I will also draw upon Nirali ma'am's experience. She talks about education initiatives, and that's a company that we respect a lot as well, because we have seen that when technology comes in and provides the right intervention, it becomes very, very valuable to the teacher in the first place, even before the student, right? It does not even reach the student. Before that itself, it becomes very valuable to the teacher. And if the teacher sees the value in it, then the student will automatically receive that value. And that is where, what we talked about, that the teacher has to outsmart the technology. Teacher can outsmart the technology by using technology. That's how it has to be, right? So you can't really say that I'm going to compete with technology, but say that I will use the technology to become better. And that's when you will earn that respect back from the students. Also, what we have seen is that, especially in the last 2 years, parents have been watching all the classes. So parents have started commenting on the teachers. Parents have started saying, you don't know this, or you are not teaching this right, which honestly, and it may be controversial to say, but parents have no business of doing that, right? Teacher knows what to do. One of the panelists brought this up, that if teacher teaches three sums and the child goes home, the parents feel that teacher ne aaj kuch sikhaya hi nahi, they have only taught three things today, which is wrong. Ultimately the goal is that we have to teach the child how to learn, we have to teach the child how to do things right, and then leave them to it so that they can do them right. This is where a good blended learning program can be very, very effective, right? And when we say blended, we are not merely talking about a smart board, or we are not merely talking about an attendance system. What we are talking about is how technology can be a part of that learning. At the same time, how technology can empower the teacher and the child both. So that's what is very, very important, right? And we can do this by bringing in this kind of adaptive learning, this kind of learning where the child is able to see whatever they have learned in action in real life. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is this whole 20-minute story, right? And that's very, very important, because what we realized and felt was that children are spending way too much time on the gadgets. I myself feel that, right? My son uses too much time on the phone, and he's not sitting with us, and he's sitting with the phone, and his friends are on the phone. His friends are not with him. In fact, one of the teachers that I was talking to, what she brought up is that this year when the kids came back at the recess, they found pin drop silence. Normally the teacher says silence in the class and walks out. But here what happened was the teacher was actually waiting for the children to make the noise. Why? Because in the last 2 years, they have stopped interacting with each other in person. All that interaction which has happened has been online, right? So it is important that while we talk about all this technology, we also have to see where it has to be limited and how it has to be limited. So to answer this in a very circuitous way, what we did was that we created this whole content structure in such a way that we broke down all the learning outcomes of every chapter into about 15 to 20 learning outcomes per chapter. And then we said that there is learning or learning content which can take about 5 to 7 minutes to complete. So with that, what we were able to do is we said that in 20 minutes, you will be able to achieve 3 to 4 learning outcomes today. And for today, that is enough. You don't need to do any more, right? So you have achieved some learning, you have moved forward, but at the same time, we have been able to limit the screen time to just about 20 minutes, which is, kind of also the attention span of these children as well. They don't give any more attention than that, right? And at the same time, we are able to limit that gadget time. So the child is not spending too much time on the gadget, not doing anything else. Finish it in 20 minutes, hand the phone back to your mama or whatever, and go back to other things that you're supposed to do. So that's the idea.
That's amazing. It's a wonderful initiative you have brought in, and it's helping a lot of children, lakhs of students throughout the country for sure. And we will also try to know more about it after the show also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful product. And I also want to confirm more thing that all your this app as well as the competitions you're having, I hope you told us that is free of cost.
Yes, app is free of cost. The school program is free of cost for any school that signs up this year. We are making it free for life. And
I had been seeing in the social media also that a lot of students, they have won up the prizes. Yes. These competitions are also free of cost. Instead you are paying them.
Yes, we are giving them some small amounts of money to encourage them. The whole idea is, and it was very interesting, right? Because just 2 weeks back, I was in a place called Vapi in Gujarat. It's a very small town. And then there was another nearby town called Valsad, another very, very small town. And in this place, we found that 19 students in one school had won cash scholarships. The whole point was that we encourage them to learn, use these events or competitions as a motivator. But what we found is that with that, people in these kind of small towns are able to show their talent and are able to actually show that, or they're showing to us that maths can be taught anywhere. Maths can be achieved anywhere, right? It's not something which is only going to be taught in elite schools. If it is done right, every child can learn it. And it is our job to make sure that we are able to reach them in the right way.
Absolutely right, sir. Thank you so much. You are doing a wonderful job for the education fraternity, because maths had been and is still a very big problem for the middle school students, which gradually rises as a phobia till the higher classes and ultimately affecting the career of the students also. But people like you have brought these type of things, and right now free of cost for the schools for a long time you're giving it. And that's a wonderful thing you're doing, sir. Thank you so much for all these things. Coming up to the last part of the session, last 5 minutes or 7 minutes, we can say that we have a culture of this show that before parting, all the participants have to sing 2 lines. It may be religious, filmy, non-filmy, patriotic, anything you can say. And because the newcomers who have come for the first time, they have to sing first. And Manoj sir, I know you are a very big gentleman. So being a gentleman, you have to sing first. And that too, if it will be original one, that will be very happy.
Sir, actually, I am little bad at singing. Okay, because I enjoy singing, I enjoy the songs, but okay, while come to the part of the singing, I am not that much good.
But sir, but what I felt is the a new exposure we have done that so many beautiful singers we have got out of the show, and we are talking to the Indian Idol people that they should start up a show with the education for the educationists only. Only the principals will be over there, and many of them they are going to the final also, semi-finals, quarter-finals, and the finals also because they have a wonderful voice. We are principals, we are genies, sir. We can do everything. We are all rounders with a smiling face. क्या हुक्म है मेरे आका, have to stand everywhere whatever the situation. जब पैंडेमिक झेल लिया 2 साल, अब तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. Am I right, Dilali ma'am?
I will not agree for the singing. Everywhere else I will agree, but not for
Ma'am,
the singing
ma'am,
part.
but ma'am, we are giving you time to decide which song you have to sing 2 lines. You can go into all the episodes, previous episodes into the channel. That every principal, every man, every director, or whoever has come over here has sung a song. And for the proof, I have Nirmal sir. He will assure that this has happened. Sir, Manoj sir, let's please inspire us. You have inspired us for mathematics now, because see, before parting, we should have good memories also. This is the me time for the last 5 to 10 minutes in the show.
Okay,
You see, we have to.
Yeah. Okay, only the singing, that only the song which I remember is Jeena yahan, marna yahan, Jeena yahan, marna yahan, जी चाहे जो हमको. Sir, please sing.
सर आप ओरिजिनल गाएंगे ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा सर. ओरिजिनल सॉन्ग सबने गाए हैं. That will be the best part. Please, कुछ ओरिजिनल गा दीजिए सर. You're a Tamil or what?
I am a Malayali actually.
तो मलयालम में सर एक गाना गा दीजिए सर. इतना बढ़िया, इतने बढ़िया वहाँ पे हीरोज है, इतने बढ़िया गाने हैं. I mean, हम उसको डब करके मूवी देखते रहते हैं हर समय.
Because now while telling about Malayalam songs are actually very good. Okay, and very nice. Okay.
Your favorite song, whichever your favorite song, जो दिल को छूता हो, आपके बहुत अच्छा लगता हो. Any song. We love that. Sir, along with the educationists, we are bringing together the culture also. This is also the theme of the show, that we should bring together the culture. We should bring the educationists from all the parts of the world together, being a single community, that is educationist. Sir, Manoj sir, over to you.
Yes, sir, give me little time. Okay, I will. Okay, later I will sure. Let me recall some.
Okay, for a Malayalam song, right, sir. Khushbu ma'am, over to you. I hope you have thought of which song you're going to sing.
Pardon, sir?
Ma'am, I think you have decided the song, ma'am. Please, we can start up with you. Sir is coming up with the Malayalam song, and then Rally ma'am, because Anubha ma'am had already been there, so she'll sing at the last. Rally ma'am, we are giving you sufficient time.
Because I've already done that, so I'm excused.
No, you're not excused. You are knowing that, and you have rehearsed actually.
Song impossible.
Ma'am, please start up, ma'am. Everybody
Sir,
has to
song.
go for some other work. Any song, ma'am, any song, any language, और फिल्मी पेट्रियोटिक कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो आपके स्कूल की जो प्रेयर है वो वही गाने के फॉर्म में सुना दीजिए. Anything. It's a me time right now. Your favorite song, any favorite song?
Any favorite song?
Any favorite
Okay, I'll
song,
sing
2
a
lines
Odia
only.
song, sir.
Sure.
मथारे दे पाट ओढ़ाणी आसी बुझे बेसाजी मोरानी राती है जीव दीना तू पर मोरा उन्नई जना.
Khushbu ma'am, have you ever tried Indian Idol? So beautiful. You are going into the finals for sure. We do the predictions for here only. You are going to the finals as a beautiful voice you have, but if you can translate that 2 lines to us, ma'am, what does it mean?
Sir, actually, this song, the boy is telling to his girlfriend that in Hindi we can say कि सिर पे जब दुपट्टा लेके तुम आती हो तो पूर्णिमा की चांद की तरह लगती हो. In Odia we are using this language. मोथारे दे पाटा ओढ़नी आसी बुझे बे साजी मरानी. जब तुम सज धज के आती हो तो तुम चांद की तरह मुझे दिखती हो.
Very good, very good. Excellent, ma'am. Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you so very much, sir.
Manoj sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think like that you will not leave me. Okay, without that. Okay. So here it is a old Malayalam song. ചിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ കൂടെ ചിരിക്കാൻ ആയിരം പേർ വരും കരയുമ്പോൾ കൂടെ കരയാൻ നിന്നിഴൽ മാത്രം വരും നിന്നിഴൽ മാത്രം വരും സുഖമൊരു നാൾ വരും വിരുന്നുകാരൻ ദുഃഖമോ പിരിയാത്ത സ്വന്തക്കാരൻ ചിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ കൂടെ ചിരിക്കാൻ ആയിരം പേർ വരും കരയുമ്പോൾ കൂടെ കരയാൻ നിന്നിഴൽ മാത്രം വരും നിന്നിഴൽ മാത്രം വരും.
Wonderful, sir.
That was a beautiful song, but little translation would help us to understand more.
Yeah, actually it is very philosophical. That is telling that, okay, when you cry, that is when you laugh. Chirikyumbol means it is laugh. Okay, when you laugh, okay, there will be thousands of people to laugh with you. Okay, when you cry, that is karayumbol means cry. Okay, only you will be there. That is nobody else will be there with you. Okay, while crying. And the next thing is like that telling. Okay, when it is sukham, that means the happiness. Okay, happiness will be like that of a gust. Okay, but the trouble, okay, is there always with you. Okay.
It is a fact of life, sir. In the song only, it's a fact of life. With happiness,
yes,
everybody.
Exactly.
But in problems, nobody will stand. Only I will be standing for you.
Excellent.
Very good, sir. Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. Excellent. Nirali, ma'am.
I really want to be excused. I'm not at all into singing. Please,
Ma'am, nobody is excused. How can you go without that? I mean, this show you cannot go without that. And now you have come, when you are coming next into any episode or season, so you know very well you should, come up.
That time I will keep myself prepared.
But ma'am, here also you have to sing,
is
ma'am.
not something I can do.
Ma'am,
my music teacher also told me once that never sing again.
Sir,
when I was in school, he tried, and then he said, never sing again.
Yeah, music teacher told it to Manoj sir also, but he sang.
Yeah, no, actually, I one thing is that I did it, but once after singing, I feel very satisfied. Sir, thank you for forcing me.
Singing and listening music is the best way of getting yourself relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, these are the
That is sure, but when I listen, not when I sing. Others don't feel relaxed if I sing.
Really, ma'am, you are a very good singer. I'm telling you.
No, not at all.
Ma'am, please, only two lines, ma'am. Any 2 lines which you have sung for sir, even or sir sang for you sometime. That is a sung for you. Sir, ma'am, please. Hurry up,
If you want, I can play a nice Gujarati song for everybody, but I really cannot sing. I'm really sorry for
Take
it.
up 2 lines, only 1 line of Gujarati song. Chalo, it will be done, ma'am.
So it's a song on it's a very famous song over here by Jigardan Kadvi. So it's about Valam Avon. It's about like calling the loving one. So it's a very lovely song, but I'm sorry I'm not able to sing it. I tried when he was singing. I tried myself.
Ma'am, you can try right now again, ma'am. We won't say anything to you. Off the screen, we cannot say anything to you.
So it's about, it says like Valam Aone. So it's calling the loved one in a very different way. It's a lovely love story. From a Gujarati movie. But on nothing more than this.
Okay, ma'am. Only the one line, ma'am. What has been written over there which you are reading, ma'am?
So I need the lyrics also.
Yeah.
This is not my me time. It's a stressful time for me. Phobia.
Ma'am, but you will remember, cherish that after the show for sure. You will cherish that after the show. It's you know, at that time you feel very all of a
I
sudden
don't
I
know,
have
but
to
what others will cherish.
everybody will cherish, ma'am. You will also cherish for sure, and your students and your teachers and those people who follow you, they will get inspired from you. That ma'am is actually an all rounder.
No, no. टफ ये मेरे लिए बहुत है ये
मैम हालांकि आवाज आपकी बिल्कुल नहीं आई, लेकिन कोई बात नहीं. That was a beautiful song. We'll clap for you. But ma'am, the next time when you are coming, you have to come up with the rehearsal, ma'am, for sure.
Sure.
And you and don't refuse them. Anubha ma'am will come up to you, ma'am, because you will sing a beautiful song already. That time also you sung very beautifully. Before the closure, we'll have to read your song. Over to you.
Thank you, Sarabji sir. That time also the mic went off. I wish the network plays by my side this time also. But I'll definitely sing because I want Nirali ma'am to feel confident and I also want Manoj sir to feel confident. Picking up a philosophical one from the Bollywood oldies. एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल, जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल, दूजे के होठों को देकर अपने गीत, कोई निशानी छोड़ फिर दुनिया से बोल, एक दिन बिक जाएगा. So that's what we all are doing as principals. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful and inspiring, ma'am. Thank you so much. The other two principals, they are trying to connect again and again, but there was connectivity problem. We'll catch them in the next some other time. Thank you, Manoj sir. Thank you, Nirali ma'am. Thank you, Nirmal sir, Anubha ma'am, and Khushbu ma'am for joining us in the show. We had a beautiful time. I hope you also had a beautiful time, enjoyed also, as well as learned, and we had exchanged our ideas also. Hope to see you soon in another season, another session for sure. Thank you so much and good night, please.
Thank you. Anubha ma'am is trying to say something.
Sarabjit sir, I was saying, when do we get to hear you sing?
Yes.
Next episode for sure, ma'am.
Why is he not singing? Tell me first.
because ma'am you haven't sung, ma'am. Nirali ma'am if you sing, I'll sing.
No, that is
मैं
not
पहले
an
गा देता हूँ,
excuse.
फिर आप गा दीजिए. चलिए बताइए. देखिए फिर मैम, this is wrong, ma'am. This is wrong. I am singing from last 80 episodes, ma'am. आप समझो मेरा क्या, आप ये गाना नहीं गा रहे हो आप.
अनुभव मैम आपने सुना था सर को लास्ट टाइम?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
देखिए सर.
Right. I'll sing a song in the next episode for sure, ma'am. Thank you so much, all of you. I had a great time with you. Nirali ma'am, we will be again, I'll be calling you very soon, but please come up with a good song, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're scaring me now.
No, ma'am, not scaring you, ma'am. It's a wonderful thing. Music is a wonderful thing. You should try it.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.